Hey, this is Pistol Pete here with my YouTube channel focusing on Santa Cruz County. I'm really excited to start this interview with Andy Huynh of Full Steam Dumpling. He's here with us at the Food Lounge. And anyways, thank you so much for being here, Andy.
Yeah, for sure. Excited to start this off.
Andy was recently claimed as the dumpling darling of Santa Cruz County by Edible Monterey. And I gotta mention that, but tell me more about yourself.
I just moved to Santa Cruz when I was real young, maybe 19 or 20. And I kind of just started cooking I just need a job really. And I ended up cooking in a couple restaurants in LA and then moving up here and just working like any cook job I can get. And then just along the line, met a bunch of cool friends and people and mentors and ended up just loving cooking. And I just kind of started this business, you know, but I don't know, just a dude.
That's so exciting, man. And you're very humble about it. I know that you've worked with some really influential restaurants and influential people in the area. Anyways, I'm sure that has a whole story to it as well. What is Full Steam Dumpling? Tell us a little bit more about that.
It's a collective of me and like pretty much all of my good friends that I've met in restaurants. Like a lot of them. It's a place where we can kind of cook whatever we want to make, really. I mean, dumplings are like the main focus. People love the dumplings and it's just like what we're good at, what we started off doing, but it's kind of like a little vehicle or like a hub for expression, you know, like whatever we want to make, whatever we're feeling, you know, and it kind of gives us the creative freedom to cook what we want, you know.
A really interesting niche. I think that, you know, a lot of people can put different fillings on top of rice, they can put different fillings on noodles, but the fact that it's a dumpling or, you know, various types of dumplings, I know that you guys have all different types of offerings from baos to gyozas to dumplings. So anyways, it's a really interesting vehicle. And maybe tell me a little bit more about what you guys are getting into with fillings.
All right, so lately we've been switching around the bao filling a lot, and that's been kind of fun because it's used to only be char siu bao. We only make char siu bao, you know? Now we do like this creamy chicken and leek filling. We actually take the chicken and leek filling from the gyoza and we braise it in like with a bunch of leeks, a bunch of sake, like some heavy cream. We put a little roux in there, put a little bit of fish sauce in there too. It's super nice. It's almost like biscuits and gravy, but like Asian. And then next week we're gonna do we call it like tantan pork. It's kind of like a riff off of tantan men, which is like a spicy sesame ramen, but we're gonna like kind of build a base and then put the pork sausage in there and then wrap that into a bao. So that's been kind of fun.
That sounds amazing. So this is kind of a fusion of different Asian cuisines, right? Does it kind of span an area? What kind of different cuisines do you guys get into?
Oh, we do like a lot of Asian stuff, you know, mainly Szechuan and Japanese. You know, we make ramen, that's Japanese. We try to keep it as, you know, close to the tradition as possible. We did a lot of Szechuan stuff on Wednesday here at the Food Lounge, but it's also like stems a lot from like California cuisine and like the restaurants that I was cooking in before, you know, like the use of like local and fresh, organic, seasonal ingredients, you know, and you know, sometimes we even do like a little bit of like Mediterranean and Italian, you know. But
so seeking inspiration from what's available at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
And kind of riffing off of that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So out of all these dishes, I mean, do you have a favorite that you like the best?
As far as gyozas go, I really like the duck confit gyoza. It's been a long time since we've done that.
Duck confit gyoza?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That one's kind of cool. Duck confit gyoza with like a parsnip puree on the bottom, and we do like a balsamic black vinegar reduction on top. It's kind of like French, but it's so good. Yeah, the creamy chicken and leek bao is kind of like my favorite right now, I think. But you know, they always change.
Has that been a mainstay on your menu for a while?
For the past couple of weeks, we're about to switch it out, you know. I like to, you know, I'll make a new item and then we'll like leave it on the menu for 2 or 3 weeks and then we'll switch it out.
Kind of keep it real?
Yeah, just keep it rotating and real.
Awesome. So I know that you got started, you know, one of your first pop-ups was at the Shanty Shack brewery just in Harvey West area.
Yeah.
I used to work over there and I love that area, and Shanty Shack is such a cool zone. If you haven't checked that out, definitely do. Tell us about how your business has grown and changed throughout the years, and then also changed based on the pandemic. I mean, I know that's a really interesting topic of conversation right now for restaurant industry specifically.
So when we first started, like we said, we started at the Shanty Shack. So when we first started, it was there. We just did like a lot of brewery pop-ups, you know? And like, it was kind of hard to get into like brewery scene in Santa Cruz. So we kind of like built our name in Watsonville. We cooked at like all the breweries over there, Alcorn Slough Brewing. We cooked at Carlito's Brewing Company, the Beer Meal, Fruition Brewing. Just did a lot of that. And then we did a couple festivals. I pretty much, when I started the business, I hit up every single brewery, every single place I've ever seen a food truck at, and I just asked them if they ever needed food, you know? Like every winery, everything, you know, festivals. And then we just did like pop-ups. So it was pop-up, 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 pop-up. We do like 4 pop-ups, 5 pop-ups in a week, different place every day. Kind of drove me crazy. But the whole goal was to kind of get like a residency. And we got really lucky because we moved into this kitchen, which is also a commissary kitchen, but it allows space for like events. So we ended up launching like a weekly Wednesday pop-up. And we were doing that like every week, and that was kind of like our thing, you know, like we always wanted the residency. So then we kind of evolved, you know, to like make that the focus of our business. And then when the pandemic hit, it pretty much shut down like every single brewery event. Like we couldn't really do that anymore. I had some help with some friends. They suggested that I pivot to like online ordering. So we started just doing only takeout here at the Food Lounge, and we haven't missed a day a week. And that's been really cool. And then we do the farmers market once in a while. They reached out to us and we reached out to them, and they got us into their weekly rotation. So now we do 3 farmers markets a week plus takeout here, and that really saved us. Honestly, the Santa Cruz farmers market is like what saved us.
No way,
Like,
props to them.
Yeah, seriously, like if it wasn't for them, I think we probably would have went out of business. Like, or
That's
I
a
would've,
wild ride, man.
Yeah.
So you guys went from doing pop-ups in various breweries. I mean, to me, it sounds so complex to be changing the location of your cooking at all times, basically. You know, it seems like you've been really skilled at adapting to different environments, but it seems like it's kind of good now that you have some consistency, both in the
definitely.
Food Lounge, you know, this space that offers you this opportunity, plus farmers market.
Yeah.
When you guys cook for the farmers market, do you guys do it here?
Well, yeah, we produce all of our stuff here, but when we go to the farmers market, we have our whole like camp chef setup. We bring our little burners and our propane tanks. We offer frozen food and ramen kits there. So we cruise up with like 2 huge coolers and 2 camp chefs. Yeah. And we kind of just like, we cook outside, you know, like we're camping.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So people can actually order fresh there as well.
They can order fresh, frozen, you know, and if it's raining, we just do frozen.
Right,
So, yeah.
that makes sense. What are your plans with Full Steam from here? Obviously, you've had nothing but change for the last couple of years, it sounds like, but it seems like it's getting to be more consistent. Do you think that you'll keep it here, or what are your kind of dreams with it?
Yeah, you know, there was like a little moment where I was thinking about maybe moving into like getting a brick and mortar, moving into our own kitchen. But I don't know, like the Food Lounge has offered us such an awesome space to grow. It's always been so good to us. We like the community we have here. We have a really good relationship with the other vendors on site, other tenants on site, 11th Hour Coffee, who built this whole beautiful space. We work with Flogline Farms. We work with Ocean to Table. It's kind of like being really cool to be so close to your purveyors, you know? They have like the best available proteins and seafood, and they're right here in the building. Well, also, we just love the community here. So actually the next step we're thinking about doing is opening up outdoor dining right here. We're gonna do ramen Friday nights. So it's like open up, because we want to like pretty much essentially open up a ramen shop. We don't want to jump into it too crazy, you know, because we value our lives and our work-life balance. But the next step, hopefully in a couple weeks, is to open up outdoor dining right here, just to start selling ramen.
And tell us a little bit more about work-life balance. I've heard that's been tough, especially as any business owner would say, or entrepreneur that's starting a new business or running a young business. Has that been able to kind of level off now? Have you started to get a handle on that?
That's like the biggest struggle, really. I mean, the business, I can do it, you know. I gotta work extra, like it's fine, like I can make it work. But then going home, I just had a kid, so.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so thank you. Just trying to balance that, and then I have other hobbies too. Obviously, I'm not just like, well, I don't just want to cook. There's other things I want to do too.
Totally.
But then when it comes to balancing like that, and my child, and you know, my partner, and you know, just it gets a little rough. There's times where it's really hard. I would definitely say that's the hardest one, but it's getting better. Before, when we first started the business, I had no work-life balance. It was just work all the time, like all the time. But now with like the consistency of our events, I can do less planning. The planning that I do is kind of like just goes towards the system we have, you know? Before it was like every week was different. So I had to do a lot of like planning and logistical stuff. Now it's just improving the system we have. So it's definitely offered me more time to kind of like focus on my family and my other parts of my life. But it's still a struggle. It's always a struggle, but it's all good.
I feel that, definitely. What brought you to Santa Cruz? I read that you were from West Covina, so down in LA area, suburbs of LA. How was that transition? What brought you here? What kept you here?
My girlfriend, she's my wife now, it's funny. And she ended up moving up here for school or coming back up here for school. I met her when she was on like a break or something. And she came back for school, and then I just kind of spent like a year or two kind of just getting into trouble and just not doing much, you know? Then I just came up here for a couple times and I was like really loved it. It was super different. Like the sky is blue, like LA, it's never blue. You can never see the sky. The vibe was totally different, and I kind of fell in love with it, and I kind of just like got into my head that I wanted to be up here because of the geography, but also to be with, you know, my girlfriend, and kind of just moved up here with like $500 and just made it work, I guess. I don't know, just got lucky along the way, just worked random jobs, and I don't know, I just knew I needed to change, you know. But I really fell in love with Santa Cruz, and it taught me so much and showed me so many cool things I would have never really saw in LA. One thing I noticed when I first moved to Santa Cruz was like every person I saw, I would see them again, like 2 or 3 times. Like I'd be like, what? Like this place is tiny, you know? And that kind of really like fostered like a sense of community that I never really got to experience in LA. You're so divided. I mean, it's like I said, it's got, like you said, it's got its perks, you know? There's a lot of great art out there, you know? But it's just different. Like, I don't know, up here it's a little more community. You can feel it more, you know what I mean? And
it's almost like there's less chance to be anonymous, you know? Like you have to be like somewhat connected, you know? And that just to be like a person in the environment. Well, Andy, so where can people find your business? Where can people order from Full Steam Dumpling and experience your food?
We're at 3 farmers markets a week. On Wednesday, we're at the downtown farmers market. Also on Wednesday, we're here at the Santa Cruz Food Lounge. We do our extended menu with, it's like usually Szechuan focused. And we have a bunch of dumplings that you can't get at any farmer's market here from 4 to 7. You have to order online at fullsteamdumpling.com for that. And you know, on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday we're at the farmers markets. Wednesday is downtown from 1 to 5. Saturday is the west side from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sunday is Live Oak from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And at those farmers markets, you can try some of our popular dumplings, hot. And you can take home a bunch of frozen dumplings. We have a bunch of different varieties, and the ramen kits as well. And pretty soon, you'll be able to find us here every Friday. We're thinking 5 to 9 p.m. with a ramen-focused menu for outdoor dining. And if you just follow us on Instagram, like, you know, as things open back up, we're always at like different breweries and spots and wineries and festivals. We'll just post it on the Instagram. Those are kind of random.
Follow Andy and Full Steam Dumpling on Instagram. Check them out at one of the 3 farmers markets in town, or come by the food lounge either Wednesday or, by the time this video is out, probably Friday evenings as well. And don't miss the chance to get these dumplings. They're incredible. I love the baos too. We take them home all the time. They're frozen. You can heat them up throughout the week. And thank you so much, Andy. This has been so much fun. Really appreciate you.
This is awesome.